Marcus Hawthorn stands at the floor-to-ceiling windows of his penthouse office, 43 stories above Manhattan, watching the city pulse with life below. His reflection stares back at him, 41 years old, silver threading through dark hair, eyes that used to burn with ambition, now just burn. Behind him, 3 monitors display real-time data from his hedge fund. $8 billion under management, 17 employees, 0 mistakes tolerated. His phone vibrates. Another text from the nanny agency. 5th one this week. He ignores it. The intercom buzzes. "Mr. Hawthorn, the car is waiting." Marcus doesn't move. Through the glass, he can see the East River, the Brooklyn Bridge, the sprawl of a city he conquered before he turned 35. Self-made. That's what Forbes called him 3 years ago. Youngest hedge fund manager to break the billion-dollar threshold. The kind of success story people study in business schools. None of it matters anymore. His office door opens without permission. Only one person does that. James Chen, his chief operating officer, and the closest thing Marcus has to a friend. "You're going to be late for the board meeting." "Cancel it." "Marcus." "I said cancel it." His voice is flat, empty. "Reschedule for next week." James doesn't argue. He's learned not to. Instead, he walks to the window, stands beside Marcus in silence. After a long moment, he speaks quietly. "How are the boys?" Marcus's jaw tightens. "The same. The new therapist quit last week. That makes 6 in 8 months. Marcus turns away from the window. She said working with them was too emotionally taxing. Said she couldn't handle the lack of progress. James's face softens with something Marcus can't stand. Pity. "I'm sorry." Marcus walks to his desk, opens a drawer, pulls out a folder. Inside are medical reports, therapy evaluations, specialist recommendations. He's memorized every word, every diagnosis, every prognosis that starts with "unfortunately" and ends with "permanent." Ethan and Elijah Hawthorn, age 4, diagnosis: spastic diplegia, cerebral palsy, with significant motor impairment. Marcus reads the words like he's reviewing a quarterly report. Clinical, detached. Prognosis: severe mobility limitations, wheelchair dependent, projected lifetime care costs, $4 to $6 million. He closes the folder. "The doctors say they'll never walk independently, never run, never do any of the things I imagined when Claire told me we were having twins." His voice cracks on his late wife's name. "So I pay specialists $2,000 an hour to confirm what I already know. That money can't fix this. That all my success means nothing when it matters most." James opens his mouth, closes it. What can he say? They both know the truth. Marcus's phone buzzes again. This time he looks at it. A notification from the home security system. Motion detected. East bedroom, 2:47 p.m. The boys' room. His chest tightens. He pulls up the camera feed, watches the screen. The new nurse, Mrs. Patterson, is repositioning Ethan's wheelchair. Routine. Nothing to worry about. But Marcus watches anyway, unable to look away from his son's small faces on the screen. 4 years old. They should be running through playgrounds, climbing trees, causing chaos. Instead, they sit in specialized wheelchairs, their legs thin and still, their eyes distant. It's been 18 months since Claire died. 18 months since the aneurysm took her while she was reading them a bedtime story. One moment she was there, voice soft and steady. The next moment she was gone. No warning, no goodbye. Just Marcus walking into their bedroom and finding his wife collapsed on the floor, their twin sons crying in their cribs, too young to understand that everything had just changed forever. The doctors said she wouldn't have felt pain, said it was instant. Marcus felt pain for both of them. He closes the security app, slides the phone into his pocket. "I'm going home." James looks surprised. "It's not even 3 o'clock. I know what time it is. The Singapore meeting is in an hour." "Handle it." Marcus grabs his jacket. "You've been wanting more responsibility. Here it is." He walks out before James can respond, takes the private elevator down to the parking garage, climbs into his Mercedes. The engine purrs to life. 43 miles to Greenwich, Connecticut, to the estate he bought for Claire 6 months before she died. 22 rooms, 5 acres, a pool she never got to swim in, a house that stopped being a home the day she left it. Marcus drives in silence. No music, no calls, just the hum of tires on asphalt and the weight of everything he's carrying. The highway blurs past. Exit signs, toll booths, Other cars full of other people living other lives that probably feel just as heavy. He thinks about Ethan and Elijah, about the way they used to smile when Claire sang to them, about how that light in their eyes dimmed after she died, like they knew something essential had been taken from them. The specialists say the boy's condition has nothing to do with losing their mother. That cerebral palsy is neurological, permanent, unrelated to grief. But Marcus knows what he sees. His sons stopped trying after Claire died, stopped reaching for toys, stopped responding to therapy, like they decided the world wasn't worth engaging with anymore. He can't blame them. Most days, he feels the same way. The exit for Greenwich appears. Marcus takes it, winds through familiar streets lined with estates hidden behind stone walls and iron gates. Old money, new money. All of it the same when you're alone. He pulls into his driveway, waits for the gate to open. The house rises ahead, all glass and stone and architectural ambition. Claire loved it, said it felt like a castle where their boys could grow up safe and loved. Now it just feels empty. Marcus parks, walks to the front door. Inside, silence. Always silence. The kind that presses against your chest and makes you want to scream just to fill the space. He sets his briefcase down, loosens his tie, checks his watch. 4:17 p.m. Mrs. Patterson will have finished the afternoon therapy session by now. The boys will be in their room, probably watching something on the tablet. Quiet. Still. Waiting for a life that never seems to arrive. Marcus heads toward the east wing, stops outside their bedroom door. He can hear voices inside. Mrs. Patterson talking to someone on her phone. Her tone is clipped, annoyed. I know, but the pay is excellent, and it's only temporary, just until I find something better. Marcus's jaw clenches. The boys, they're fine, quiet mostly, don't do much. The father barely comes home, so it's easy money. Easy money. Marcus pushes the door open. Mrs. Patterson jumps, drops her phone. Mr. Hawthorn, I didn't expect you. Pack your things, you're done. Her face goes white. I don't understand. You're fired. I'll have your final check sent to you by Monday. But I haven't done anything. You called caring for my sons easy money. His voice is cold, controlled. Get out of my house. She grabs her bag, fumbles with her phone, rushes past him without another word. Marcus doesn't watch her go. He's already looking at Ethan and Elijah, sitting in their wheelchairs by the window, watching the whole scene with wide, uncertain eyes. It's okay, boys, he says quietly. She's gone now. Neither of them responds. Marcus kneels in front of them, forces a smile he doesn't feel. How was therapy today? Silence. Did you do your exercises? More silence. He reaches out, touches Ethan's small hand. His son doesn't pull away, but he doesn't engage either. Just sits there, present but distant, like he's somewhere Marcus can't reach. I'm sorry, Marcus whispers. I'm sorry I'm not better at this. He stands, walks to the window, looks out at the expansive lawn, 5 acres of manicured grass that his sons will never run across. A swing set installed last month that will never be used. A treehouse half-built that will never be finished. Behind him, he hears a sound. Soft, almost imperceptible. Ethan is humming. Marcus turns slowly. His son's eyes are closed, his small body swaying slightly, and he's humming a melody Marcus hasn't heard in 18 months. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. Claire's song, the one she sang every single night. Marcus's throat closes, his eyes burn. Ethan, his son opens his eyes, looks at him, really looks at him. For the first time in months, Marcus sees something other than emptiness there. He sees longing. Elijah joins in, humming the same tune, both boys rocking gently in their wheelchairs, remembering their mother through the only way they have left. Marcus sinks to his knees on the carpet, covers his face with his hands, and lets himself break. Marcus sits in his home office at midnight, 3 monitors glowing in the darkness. Each screen shows a different camera feed. Living room, kitchen, east bedroom where the boys sleep. He installed this system 6 months ago, after the 4th caregiver was caught stealing Claire's jewelry. Before that, it was the nanny who leaked photos of the boys to a tabloid. Before that, the therapist who accessed his bank accounts and drained $40,000 before Marcus caught her. 11 caregivers in 18 months. Each one came with credentials, references, background checks. Each one seemed perfect until they weren't. The first one quit after 2 weeks, said watching the boys was too depressing. The second spent more time on Instagram than with Ethan and Elijah. The third, Emily. Her name was Emily, actually seemed to care. Stayed for 4 months, played with the boys, sang to them, got them to smile. Marcus almost trusted her. Then he found her in Claire's closet, packing designer dresses into garbage bags. "I thought you wouldn't notice," she'd said when confronted. "You're never here anyway." She was right about that part. After Emily, Marcus stopped trusting his instincts, started trusting technology instead. Cameras in every room except the bathrooms, motion sensors, audio feeds he could access from his phone, his office, anywhere in the world. Control through surveillance. It was the only protection he had left. Marcus pulls up the system logs, reviews the past week. Mrs. Patterson arriving at 7 each morning, leaving at 5 each evening. In between, nothing remarkable. Routine care, feeding, positioning, tablet time. No therapy that Marcus can see. No engagement. Just maintenance. That's what his sons had become to these people. Maintenance. His phone buzzes. Email from the nanny agency. "Mr. Hawthorn, we understand you need another placement. However, given the high turnover rate, we need to discuss." Marcus deletes it without finishing. He'll find someone else. He always does. Money makes everything possible, even finding people willing to care for children other people have given up on. He opens a new browser window, starts searching. Caregiver agencies, physical therapists, anyone with credentials and availability. The process is familiar now. Mechanical. Post the listing. Review applications. Run background checks. Conduct interviews. Hire. Fire. Repeat. A notification pops up. Motion detected. East bedroom. 2:34 a.m. Marcus frowns, pulls up the camera feed. The boys should be sleeping. On screen, he sees Ethan's wheelchair. Empty. His heart stops. Then he sees movement. On the floor. Both boys, out of their chairs, lying on the carpet by the window, looking up at something Marcus can't see. The moon, probably. Claire used to lift them to the window on clear nights, point out stars, tell them stories about constellations. Marcus watches his sons on the screen. They're not moving much, can't move much, but they're there together, reaching for something beyond their limitations. His chest aches. He should go to them, should walk down the hall and sit with them, help them back to their chairs, stay until they fall asleep. But he doesn't move, because going to them means feeling everything he's been avoiding, the grief, the helplessness, the overwhelming awareness that he's failing them every single day. So Marcus sits in his office, watching his sons through a screen, and tells himself it's enough. It's not enough. He knows it's not enough, but he doesn't know how to do better. At 2:47 a.m., Marcus closes the laptop. He'll deal with finding a new caregiver tomorrow. Tonight, he's too tired, too broken, too aware that no amount of money can buy back what his family has lost. He walks upstairs to his bedroom, the one he used to share with Claire, and stands in the doorway. Her side of the bed is still made, pillows arranged the way she liked them. Her robe hangs on the bathroom door. Her books sit on the nightstand, bookmarks still in place. Marcus sleeps in the guest room now, has since the day she died. He can't bear to touch her things, can't bear to change anything, because changing things means accepting she's really gone, and he's not ready for that. Might never be ready for that. His phone buzzes one more time. Another motion alert. 2:51 a.m. Marcus pulls up the feed. The boys are back in their wheelchairs. Someone must have heard them, helped them, except there's no one there. He zooms in, rewinds the footage, watches as both boys somehow impossibly pull themselves up using the window ledge. Their legs shake violently, their arms tremble, but they do it. They get themselves back into their chairs without help. Marcus replays the footage 3 times. The doctors said they couldn't do that, said their motor control was too impaired, their muscle tone too compromised. But there it is, recorded evidence of his sons doing the impossible. Marcus sits on the edge of the guest room bed, phone in his hands, watching his sons prove everyone wrong while he was watching through a screen instead of being there with them. Tomorrow, he tells himself, tomorrow he'll do better. He's been saying that for 18 months. Tomorrow never comes. Isabella Santos stands outside the iron gates of 47 Meadowbrook Lane, looking up at the mansion beyond. Her hands are shaking. She wipes them on her jeans, takes a breath. This is a mistake. She should leave now. Call the agency. Make an excuse. Find another placement. Anything but this. But she needs this job. Desperately. The intercom crackles. Name and purpose? Isabella leans toward the speaker. Isabella Santos. I'm here for the caregiver interview. Silence. Then the gates swing open. She walks up the long driveway, past perfectly manicured lawns and imported trees, toward a house that looks more like a museum than a home. Glass and stone and angles that catch the afternoon light, the kind of place that appears in architectural magazines. The kind of place Isabella doesn't belong. She's 28 years old, raised in the Bronx, still paying off student loans from a nursing degree she couldn't finish. Dropped out senior year when her father got sick. Spent 2 years caring for him as Parkinson slowly stole everything that made him himself. Learned about patience, about dignity in decline, about how love shows up in the smallest moments. He died 6 months ago, left her with medical debt, an empty apartment, and skills no one wanted to hire her for without a degree. Until the agency called yesterday. Emergency placement. Twin boys, age 4, cerebral palsy. Father is difficult. High turnover rate, but the pay is excellent if you can handle it. Isabella needs excellent pay. Her father's medical bills are drowning her. The apartment lease is up next month. She's already working 3 part-time jobs and still can't make ends meet. So here she is, standing at a billionaire's front door, about to interview for a position 11 other people have quit or been fired from. The door opens before she can knock. A middle-aged woman in a grey uniform looks her up and down with undisguised skepticism. "You're the new candidate?" "Yes, ma'am." "Isabella Santos." The woman doesn't smile. "Marie, I run the household staff. Mr. Hawthorn is waiting in his office. Follow me." They walk through a foyer with ceilings that soar 20 feet high. Original artwork on the walls. Marble floors that shine like mirrors. Everything perfect, cold, untouched. No toys, no mess, no evidence that children live here. Marie leads her down a hallway, knocks on a closed door. Enter. Isabella walks into an office dominated by a massive desk and wall of monitors. Behind the desk sits Marcus Hawthorn. He doesn't look up from his laptop. "Sit." Isabella sits in the leather chair across from him, folds her hands in her lap, studies him while he studies his screen. Younger than she expected. Maybe early 40s. Well-built, like he used to work out but stopped caring. Dark hair threaded with grey. Expensive suit that fits perfectly. Handsome in a severe way, like a statue carved from cold stone. Finally, he closes the laptop, looks at her. His eyes are grey, empty. Isabella Santos, 28, no degree, no formal credentials. "Why should I hire you?" "Straight to it then. No pleasantries, no warmth. I took care of my father for 2 years. Parkinson's disease. He went from independent to fully dependent. I learned patience, adaptability, how to read non-verbal cues. I didn't ask for your life story. I asked why I should hire you." His voice is flat, clinical. "You have no relevant certifications, no specialized training in cerebral palsy care. Nothing that qualifies you for this position except desperation." The words sting because they're true. Isabella meets his gaze, refuses to look away. "You're right. I'm desperate. I need this job. But that doesn't mean I won't be good at it. The last 11 caregivers thought they'd be good at it too. What happened to them? They failed." He opens a folder, slides it across the desk. "My sons, Ethan and Elijah, 4 years old, spastic diplegia, cerebral palsy, wheelchair dependent. Prognosis is permanent mobility impairment. No amount of therapy has changed that." Isabella looks at the medical reports. The terminology is familiar from her nursing classes. The prognosis is grim. But something in the photos catches her attention. 2 small boys with dark curls and serious faces. Beautiful children, sad children. What happened to their mother? Marcus's expression doesn't change, but something flickers in his empty eyes. "She died 18 months ago. I'm sorry. I don't need your sympathy. I need someone who can follow instructions." He pulls out a printed document. "This is the care protocol. Feeding schedule, medication schedule, therapy exercises, positioning requirements. Everything is documented. Everything is timed. You follow it exactly. No improvisation, no creative interpretations, no bonding." Isabella looks up. "No bonding? You're here to provide care, not attachment. The boys have been through enough disruption. They don't need another person getting close just to leave." The coldness in his voice is stunning. This man is talking about his own children like they're a business problem to be managed. "Mr. Hawthorn, they're 4 years old. I know how old my sons are." His voice sharpens. What I need to know is whether you can do this job without getting emotionally involved, without thinking you know better than the doctors, and without stealing from me or betraying my trust. Can you? Isabella should say no, should stand up, walk out, find a job where she's not treated like a potential criminal. But she thinks about her bank account, about the eviction notice probably waiting in her mailbox, about the medical debt collectors who call 3 times a day. And she thinks about those 2 small boys in the photos, living in this cold mansion with a father who watches them through cameras instead of holding them. Yes, she hears herself say, I can do that. Marcus studies her for a long moment. Then he slides a contract across the desk, $40 an hour, 6 days a week, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., 2 weeks' notice required from either party. Sign the NDA, the background check release, and the employee agreement. Isabella reads quickly. Everything is as he described. Clinical, transactional, cold. She signs. Start Monday. Marie will show you the boys' room and review the protocols. He opens his laptop again. Interview over. One more thing. Isabella stands, waits. There are cameras in every room. I will be watching. If you deviate from protocol, if you give my sons false hope about their condition, if you do anything I haven't explicitly approved, you're done. Understood? Understood. She walks out, follows Marie down another long hallway toward the east wing. He wasn't always like this, Marie says quietly. Before his wife died, he was different, warmer. Then she was gone, and she trails off. He watches those boys through cameras because he can't bear to watch them in person. Breaks his heart too much. They stop outside a bedroom door. Marie opens it. Inside, 2 small boys sit in specialized wheelchairs by the window. Their legs are thin, positioned carefully with supports. Their hands rest on padded armrests. Both are staring at a tablet playing cartoons, but neither seems to be watching. They look up when Isabella enters. 4 eyes, dark and serious, studying her with the wariness of children who've learned not to trust. Boys, this is Miss Isabella. She'll be taking care of you starting Monday. Neither boy responds. They just stare. Isabella kneels in front of them, brings herself to their eye level, smiles gently. Hi, Ethan. Hi, Elijah. I'm looking forward to getting to know you. Silence. But something in Ethan's eyes shifts, just slightly, like a door opening a crack. Then Marie is pulling her away, back to the hallway, back to reviewing protocols and schedules and rules designed to keep everyone safe and distant. That night, Isabella lies in her cramped Bronx apartment, staring at the ceiling, wondering what she's gotten herself into. She thinks about those 2 small boys, about the emptiness in their eyes, about a father who hires strangers to love his children because he's forgotten how to do it himself. And she makes a decision. She'll follow Marcus Hawthorn's protocol. She'll do exactly what he asks. But she'll also do what he didn't ask for. She'll see his sons, really see them. And maybe, if she's very careful, she'll help them see themselves. If you're enjoying this story so far, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Drop a comment telling me where in the world you're watching from. I love hearing from you. Monday morning, 6:47 a.m. Isabella arrives 13 minutes early, walks through the quiet mansion to the east wing. Marie meets her at the boys' door. They wake at 7, breakfast at 7:30, therapy exercises 8 to 9. Follow the protocol exactly. Marie hands her a thick binder. Mr. Hawthorn will be watching. Isabella nods, waits until Marie leaves, then opens the door. Ethan and Elijah are already awake, sitting in their beds, medical beds with rails and positioning equipment. Both boys watch her enter with those same wary eyes. Good morning, warriors, Isabella says softly. Neither responds. She approaches slowly, kneels between their beds. I know you've had a lot of people come and go. I know you probably don't want to trust me yet. That's okay. I'll just be here, and we'll figure it out together. Silence. Isabella begins the morning routine. Helps them dress, transfers them to wheelchairs, takes them to the kitchen for breakfast. Everything by protocol, everything timed and measured. But while she works, she hums, softly, almost unconsciously, an old hymn her grandmother used to sing. His eye is on the sparrow. Elijah's hand twitches. After breakfast, Isabella wheels them to the therapy room, a clinical space filled with equipment that looks barely used. According to the protocol, she's supposed to do passive range of motion exercises, move their limbs through prescribed patterns. 15 minutes per child. She does exactly that. But she also talks to them, tells them what she's doing and why, describes how their muscles are waking up, how their bodies are learning, how every small movement matters. You feel that, Ethan? That's your hamstring stretching. It's saying good morning. The smallest smile flickers across his face. By day 3, Isabella realizes something. The protocol is designed to maintain, not to improve, to keep the boys comfortable in their limitations, not to challenge them. She understands why. Marcus has been told repeatedly that his sons will never walk, that progress is impossible, that acceptance is the kindest path. But Isabella has seen impossible things before, watched her father take his first steps after doctors said he never would, watched determination overcome diagnosis, even if just for a moment. These boys deserve the same chance. Thursday afternoon, while Marcus is at his office 43 miles away, Isabella does something not in the protocol. She moves Ethan's wheelchair to the center of the therapy room, kneels in front of him. Want to try something new today? His eyes widen slightly. Interested, Isabella positions herself close, extends her hands. I'm going to help you stand. Just for a few seconds. Your legs will shake. It'll be hard. But I believe you can do it. She watches his face, sees fear there, but also something else. Hope. Ready? Ethan nods. Isabella supports him under his arms, helps him shift his weight forward. His legs tremble violently as they take weight for the first time in months. 3 seconds, she counts. 1, 2, 3. She lowers him back gently. Ethan's breathing is rapid, but his eyes are bright, alive. You did it, Isabella whispers. Tomorrow we'll try for 4 seconds. That night, Marcus sits in his home office reviewing security footage. He's about to skip through the afternoon therapy session. He's seen enough passive stretching to last a lifetime when something on screen makes him pause. Isabella, kneeling in front of Ethan. His son, standing. Marcus's hand freezes on the mouse. He rewinds, watches again. 3 seconds. But standing. Actually bearing weight on legs that aren't supposed to be able to support him. Marcus's throat tightens. He pulls up more footage. Sees Isabella working with Elijah the same way. Sees both boys trying, struggling, succeeding for brief, impossible moments. This isn't in the protocol. She's breaking his rules. He should fire her immediately. But he watches his sons' faces on the screen, sees something he hasn't seen in 18 months. They look alive. 3 weeks pass. Marcus watches through cameras as Isabella works with his sons every day. Always gentle, always patient, always pushing them just slightly beyond what everyone said was possible. 10 seconds standing becomes 15. 15 becomes 20. Then 30. Marcus tells himself it doesn't mean anything. Tells himself the doctors know best. But late at night, he searches medical journals, reads about neuroplasticity, finds case studies of children exceeding their prognoses through intensive early intervention. Everything Isabella is doing has scientific backing. Everything he stopped believing in months ago. Friday evening, Marcus leaves the office at 4 p.m. Unusual for him, but he's exhausted. Can't focus. Keeps thinking about his sons standing. Keeps wondering what else they might be capable of if someone actually believed in them. He drives home in silence, arrives at 5:47 p.m., more than an hour before Isabella's shift ends. The house is quiet when he enters, too quiet. Marcus walks toward the east wing, following his instincts more than any plan. As he approaches the boys' room, he hears something, singing. He stops outside the door. The voice is soft, feminine, achingly familiar in its melody, though not in its tone. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. Claire's song. Marcus's chest constricts. He pushes the door open slowly. The room is dark, curtains drawn. Only the soft glow of a nightlight illuminates the scene. Isabella sits on the floor in the center of the room, and standing in front of her, holding her hands, are Ethan and Elijah. Standing, not for 3 seconds, not for 30 seconds. Standing steady, swaying slightly to her song, both boys upright and alive and doing the impossible. How I wonder what you are. Marcus can't breathe, can't move, can't process what he's seeing. His phone slips from his hand, hits the hardwood floor with a crack that shatters the moment. Isabella's head whips around. Her eyes go wide. Mr. Hawthorn. But Marcus isn't looking at her. He's looking at his sons, at their small faces turned toward him, at their bodies still standing, even though they're not supposed to be able to stand. His knees buckle. Marcus catches himself on the doorframe, but barely. His whole body is shaking. How long? His voice cracks. How long have they been able to do this? Isabella stands slowly, keeps her hands on the boys as they lower themselves to sitting positions on the carpet. They've been building up to it, working every day. They wanted to surprise you. Surprise me? Something breaks in Marcus's voice. The doctors said they'd never stand. Never. And you. He stops, overwhelmed by too many emotions at once. Joy, grief, shame. You made them believe they could. They made themselves believe, Mr. Hawthorn. I just gave them the chance to try. Marcus stares at this woman, this stranger who's accomplished in 3 weeks what his millions couldn't buy in 18 months. A woman who broke every rule he set and gave his sons back, something he thought they'd lost forever. Hope. Dad? The small voice shatters him completely. Ethan, looking at him with those serious dark eyes, reaching toward him with both hands. We can stand now. Do you want to see? Marcus crosses the room in 3 strides, drops to his knees in front of his sons, pulls them both against his chest. They come willingly, wrapping small arms around his neck, and Marcus holds them like he should have been holding them all along. I'm sorry, he whispers into their hair. I'm so sorry I stopped believing in you. It's okay, Daddy, Elijah says softly. Miss Isabella believed enough for everyone. Marcus looks up at Isabella through blurred vision. She's crying too, standing back to give them space, hands clasped in front of her like she's praying. Maybe she is. Thank you, Marcus manages. Thank you for seeing what I couldn't. That night changes everything. Marcus cancels his meetings for the next week, calls James, tells him to handle everything. Marcus Hawthorn stands at the floor-to-ceiling windows of his penthouse office, 43 stories above Manhattan, watching the city pulse with life below. His reflection stares back at him, 41 years old, silver threading through dark hair, eyes that used to burn with ambition, now just burn. Behind him, 3 monitors display real-time data from his hedge fund. $8 billion under management, 17 employees, 0 mistakes tolerated. His phone vibrates. Another text from the nanny agency, 5th one this week. He ignores it. The intercom buzzes. Mr. Hawthorn, the car is waiting. Marcus doesn't move. Through the glass, he can see the East River, the Brooklyn Bridge, the sprawl of a city he conquered before he turned 35. Self-made. That's what Forbes called him 3 years ago. Youngest hedge fund manager to break the billion-dollar threshold. The kind of success story people study in business schools. None of it matters anymore. His office door opens without permission. Only one person does that. James Chen, his chief operating officer, and the closest thing Marcus has to a friend. You're going to be late for the board meeting. Cancel it. Marcus, I said cancel it. His voice is flat, empty. Reschedule for next week. James doesn't argue. He's learned not to. Instead, he walks to the window, stands beside Marcus in silence. After a long moment, he speaks quietly. How are the boys? Marcus's jaw tightens. The same. The new therapist quit last week. That makes 6 in 8 months. Marcus turns away from the window. She said working with them was too emotionally taxing. Said she couldn't handle the lack of progress. James's face softens with something Marcus can't stand. Pity. I'm sorry. Marcus walks to his desk, opens a drawer, pulls out a folder. Inside are medical reports, therapy evaluations, specialist recommendations. He's memorized every word, every diagnosis, every prognosis that starts with unfortunately and ends with permanent. Ethan and Elijah Hawthorn, age 4, diagnosis, spastic diplegia, cerebral palsy with significant motor impairment. Marcus reads the words like he's reviewing a quarterly report. Clinical, detached. Prognosis, severe mobility limitations. Wheelchair dependent. Projected lifetime care costs, $4 to $6 million. He closes the folder. The doctors say they'll never walk independently, never run, never do any of the things I imagined when Claire told me we were having twins. His voice cracks on his late wife's name. So I pay specialists $2,000 an hour to confirm what I already know. That money can't fix this. That all my success means nothing when it matters most. James opens his mouth, closes it. What can he say? They both know the truth. Marcus's phone buzzes again. This time he looks at it. A notification from the home security system. Motion detected. East bedroom. 2:47 p.m. The boys' room. His chest tightens. He pulls up the camera feed, watches the screen. The new nurse, Mrs. Patterson, is repositioning Ethan's wheelchair. Routine. Nothing to worry about. But Marcus watches anyway, unable to look away from his son's small faces on the screen. 4 years old. They should be running through playgrounds, climbing trees, causing chaos. Instead, they sit in specialized wheelchairs, their legs thin and still, their eyes distant. It's been 18 months since Claire died. 18 months since the aneurysm took her while she was reading them a bedtime story. One moment she was there, voice soft and steady. The next moment she was gone. No warning, no goodbye. Just Marcus walking into their bedroom and finding his wife collapsed on the floor, their twin sons crying in their cribs, too young to understand that everything had just changed forever. The doctors said she wouldn't have felt pain, said it was instant. Marcus felt pain for both of them. He closes the security app, slides the phone into his pocket. I'm going home. James looks surprised. It's not even 3 o'clock. I know what time it is. The Singapore meeting is in an hour. Handle it. Marcus grabs his jacket. You've been wanting more responsibility. Here it is. He walks out before James can respond, takes the private elevator down to the parking garage, climbs into his Mercedes. The engine purrs to life. 43 miles to Greenwich, Connecticut, to the estate he bought for Claire 6 months before she died. 22 rooms, 5 acres, a pool she never got to swim in, a house that stopped being a home the day she left it. Marcus drives in silence. No music, no calls, just the hum of tires on asphalt and the weight of everything he's carrying. The highway blurs past. Exit signs, toll booths, other cars full of other people living other lives that probably feel just as heavy. He thinks about Ethan and Elijah.